Hello people, and today welcome to another Roblox tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to make a shop which can open up like this, and you can see it looks like a shop, but I have no money, so I'm gonna, you see I'm in right here, so I'm just gonna touch the part, and then I gain like a lot of money, and then I can just buy some things, and I can equip others, and I can also unequip, and yeah, that's how you make a shop. But this shop is not an ordinary shop. This shop contains DataStore2. Now, DataStore2 is another data store to prevent data loss. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to make a shop by only using DataStore2. And yeah, enjoy. So the first stuff what you're going to do is we're going to have to set up some things. So first off, what you're going to do is to enable DataStore2, we're just going to get the model called this. Now, this is the main mod that will enable DataStore2. Now to actually enable it, let's go ahead and insert a script and then rename whatever you want and then put the main module inside the script. We're going to use that later. What we're going to do is we're going to go to server script. We're just going to go to the bool value. And then we're just going to say save in studio. And then we're going to set a value to... Now to actually do this, let's go ahead and set up for the shop. Let's go ahead and insert a folder. We're just going to call it events. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and insert a remote function called by. And let's go and insert a remote event, which is called the send data. And now let's go ahead and do the GUI thingy. Now I already have a GUI template right here. So here is the Shop GUI template. I'll leave the model in the description below. Now, if you want to make a shop, you're going to need another folder again. Now this folder will be called weapons. If you want to put this tool in the shop, let's go ahead and make an attribute, and then we're just going to put this as a number value, and then we're just going to name it the price. So this is the price property, and now you can just put the price whatever you want. Now I'm just going to put 100 cash, and then we're going to put it in the weapons folder. Now you can do the same process again. I'm going to add a grenade, and then I'm just going to set an attribute, name the price, and then put the number and then save it, and then I can add any numeric value in the price and then put it in the weapons folder. And pretty simple. And now since we've done that, let's go ahead and go inside the script. Now let's go ahead and make a variable for the DataStore2. So we're going to say local DataStore2 equals require, and we'll say script.main module because the main module is in DataStore2. And then we're just going to do one thing before we do it. We're going to say DataStore2 dot combine, and then we're just going to follow. Now let's go in and set their default values. Now we're just going to say local default coins equals 0. And then we're going to say local default inventory equals a table. It's because an inventory is a table, of course. Local default equip weapon equals a quotation mark. So then we're going to add a player added event. Now let's go ahead and set it up for the coins and the inventory and the equipped weapons. Now let's go ahead and make their data stores. Now we're just going to say local coins store equals DataStore2, and then we're just going to make we're going to add a coins, and then we're going to put it as the player. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this statement 2 times. Now let's go ahead and add functions. Yes, this one includes functions in the game. So let's go ahead and add functions, and then we're going to say local function, and then we're going to say update coins, and then we're just going to say new value. Now when we are making like an update coins thingy, we're just going to need to update the coin value. So we're just going to say coins dot value equals new value, and that's pretty simple. That's it. Now let's go ahead and make a local function that will update the inventory. So we say update inventory, and then this time we're going to say new table, and then we're just going to say this So we're just going to clear everything before we get their inventory. So I'm going to say for in pairs, I'm going to say inventory colon get children, and then do, and then we're going to say v colon destroy. And then we're just going to add another 4 players loop, and then we're just going to set it as a new table. Then we're going to say local item value, and we'll say an instance.new is a bool value, and then we're going to put it to the inventory, and then we're going to put an item value.name is equal to the v. Now I'll explain that later. And now let's go ahead and make a function that will update the equipped value, aka the string. Now we're just gonna say equipped weapon.value equals new string. Very simple. But now we're just going to come back for that later because I would like to add something. Let's go ahead and make a call the functions. So we're gonna say update coins, and then we're gonna say coin store colon get, and then we're going to say the default coins. So what we're going to do is we're going to get their store, and then we're going to set their default coins, which is there if they are joining or not. And then we're just going to repeat the process 2 times, but with a different data store. So here we go. Now let's go ahead and update it again for updates. Then we're going to say coin store colon on update, and then we're going to say update coins. Now we're just going to do the same thing 2 times again. And there we go. Now let's go ahead and make a remote event to fire the client. So we're going to say game directory search that event dot send data colon fire client. And then we're going to say the player. But first off, what we're going to do is we're going to say game colon get service colon run service dot render step colon connect to function. And then we're just going to say this. We can say shop button dot money text dot text equals, and then we're just going to add a $, and then we're just going to say the player dot, and there we go. Now let's go ahead and add a function on the top. Then we're going to say function create. Let's go ahead and get the template. Let's go ahead local template equals script colon wait for child colon template colon clone. And then we're going to get the name. So we're going to say template dot name equals item name. And then we're going to get the template to the display name right here. So we're going to say template.itemName.text is equal to item name. Then we're going to say template.price.text is equal to the item price. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and make the object to be previewed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say local previewed object, and then equal to object colon clone. And then we're going to say preview object dot parent is equal to template dot viewport frame. So then we're gonna make a variable called orientation. This will be talk about that later. Then we'll say local cam equals instance dot new. Then we're gonna say the camera, and then we're gonna say cam dot parent, and then we're gonna say equal to the template dot viewport frame. So we're just going to get the camera, and then we're going to display it to the preview object. And then once we're done, we're going to get the position. We're going to set the position to the object. Then we'll say cframe.new. Then we're going to say object. So to get the object.handle, it needs to be a handle. So object.handle dot position. And then we're going to add a plus, and then we're going to add an offset. We're going to say object.handle.cframe.look vector, and then we're going to say times it by 5 You can mess around with these position, whatever you want. And we're going to say object.handle.position. So once we've done that, let's go ahead and set the viewport frame current camera to the camera, so it will display the object. And then we're going to say template.parent is equal to the parent. And then we're just going to add a spawn function. Now this will be absolutely optional if you want to make the object to spin. Then we're just going to say ori plus equal to point. I'm going to say 1, any number depending on the speed. Then I'm going to say preview object dot handle dot orientation equals vector3.new. Then we're going to say 0.ori.0. And then we're going to return it as a template. So once we've done that, let's go ahead and add a game.replicateStorage.events.sendData.onClientEvent function. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and make a sort function. So we're going to say local ordered weapons. And then we'll say this. Then we're going to say for I and V in pairs. Then we're going to say the game.replicateStorage.weapons get children do. Then we're just going to table.insert it to the ordered weapons. And then we'll just get the. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and make a table.sort function. So I'm going to say table.sort. And then we're going to get the ordered weapons. And then we're just going to set as a function, which is going to be the A and B. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and make a return to say A get attribute, which is the price. And then we're going to say less than B get attribute to the price. Now let's go ahead and make an actual shop. So we're going to say for I and V in pairs. And then we're going to say ordered weapons do. Then we're going to get the frame. So we're going to say local frame is equal to create shop frame. Now this will be, so how do we do it is we're going to say v.name. Then we're going to get the attribute for the price. Then we're going to say v, which is the object, and the parent. Now the parent we're going to put it is in the scrolling frame. So we're just going to shop.shopFrame.scrolling frame. Now let's go ahead and activate the buy button. So we're going to say frame.buy button. And then mouse button one click connect the function. And then we're going to say local result equals game.replicateStorage.events.buy invoke server. And then we're going to get the v.name. So if you click an item buy button, then we're just going to get the result, and then we're just going to go back to the server script. Now we're already in the server script. Let's go ahead and make a event function. So I'm going to say game.replicateStorage.events.buy.onServerInvoke, and then we're going to say equal to a function, and we're going to say the player, and then we're going to get the item name. Now since we've done that, let's go ahead and get their DataStore2, which is very important. Now let's go ahead and get the make a variable about the item, and then if it's in inventory. So since we've done that, let's go ahead and make a new table. Now this will be apart from the inventory store, so I will tell you about that. Now let's go ahead and set the item variable into this. We're going to say game.recordStorage.weapons find first child, and then we're going to put it as an. And then once we're done that, let's go ahead and find if the item is actually in the inventory. So I'm going to say if player dot inventory find first child, and then I'm going to say the item name, and then I'm going to say then in inventory equals true. Now let's go ahead and do some good old if statements. I'm going to say if item and item, and then we're going to get the attribute for the price. Now let's go ahead and make an if statement that if the item is not in their inventory, then we're going to check if their coins value is greater than that attribute. Then once we've done that, we'll say if player.coins.value is greater or equal to the item get attribute. Then we're going to get the coin store, and then we're going to increment, well, decrement I meant, because we're going to subtract it to like this. Now I added a negative just to show how subtract decrementing means. Then we're going to say local item value. It's definitely the same thing, but we're going to do it differently. And then we're going to say item, and then we're going to make an item value in the player inventory, and we're just going to say the item dot. Now once we've done that, let's go ahead and make a for loop for I and P in pairs, and then we're just going to get their inventory. So I'm going to say player.inventory get children do, and then we're going to table.insert everything, table.insert, and then we'll say the new table, and then we'll say v.name. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and set inventory store set and new table. So what it does is that DataStore2 has increment, which means it will increment only for numeral values, and then the set, which is we're going to set the table into a new table that will set up for the inventory. So that's what it does. And then lastly, we're just going to say return we brought the item, and then else, and then we're going to return we don't have enough. Now if the inventory is in there else, then we're just going to get the then we're just going to equip it. I'm going to say if player dot equip weapon dot value is not equal to the item dot name, then we're going to say equip weapon store set the string to the item dot name, and then we're going to say return equip. So if there's nothing, then we're just going to equip it, else we're going to unequip it. Now here is the whole script you should all been waiting for. And now let's go ahead and go back to the local script. Now basically for remote functions, if we return something, then we just get back what the result is. Now this will include a lot of properties, so this will be very hard. Then we're going to say if result is equal to brought, or result is equal to unequip, then we're just going to copy this part. Then I'm going to say else if results is equal to not enough, then it will do, and then I'm just going to copy this part. Now if you want to know what's the not enough thing is, this is what it is on screen. And then we're going to say else if result is equal to equip, then we're just going to copy this part right here, and then we're going to add a for loop. We'll say for underscore ob in pairs, and then we're going to say shop frame dot scrolling frame get children, and then we're going to say if object is a frame. So if the object is the frame, then we're going to have to check if something is from the inventory. So I'm going to say if player.inventory find first child, which is the object name, aka the frame name, then we're just going to copy this part, but this time we're going to change frame to object. And there we go. Now that's it. You have made your own shop in your local script and the whole DataStore2, where I just show you how to make it in DataStore2. Now to actually do it, you must publish it to Roblox. And then we're just going to go to the game settings and then go to security. And then we're going to enable these two. And now let's go ahead and test it. So as you may notice, I am right here. Let's go ahead and open it up. As you can see, it shows my items and the players. We already have an inventory. But however, there's no other way to get cash. So I'm just going to make a simple one for a second. So as you may notice, there's a part. And then let me open this one. And then if I hit on it, as you can see, I gain like more parts. And then if I buy something, I don't have enough coins. But if I buy it, as you can see, the rocket launcher, that I own it. Meaning that the inventory is right here. And then if I equip one, as you can see, it's on the rocket launcher. It says the rocket launcher is equipped. If I equip something, then... And also, I can just open it up and then buy this and equip something else. Now, to basically make the equip value to give you a weapon, I'm going to show you something. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clear their inventory. What I mean inventory is we need to clear their backpack, of course. So here's the script, and it will clear up their backpack, their starter gear, and their character if they are equipping it. Then let's go ahead and make the equipped items. I'm going to say if game.replicate.storage.weapons, go on find first child, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to get the equipped weapon.value. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this part, and then we'll say clone, and then we'll say .parent, and then we're going to say equal to player.backpack. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but this time we're just going to do it to the starter gear. Now here you go. Now as you may notice, my data already saved because I already saved it in Studio. And as you can see, I already brought my rocket launcher. And then if I equip something, and I got a grenade. And yeah, this shop is actually working.